donuts at the school, hugging and kissing on her, right?
Move away from my car,
Let me tell you something. Motherfucker. Shoot.
A woman is dead, a man is in handcuffs, and the entire thing was caught on camera, recorded by the shooter himself. What you're about to watch is the full interrogation of Othniel Innes, a 58-year-old man who sat across from detectives for hours, calm, collected, and calculating. This is the story of Tanisha Evans, a mother of four, a healthcare worker, a published author, whose life ended in a bank parking lot on an ordinary morning. This video exists to expose exactly what happened, why it happened, and to make sure her story is never forgotten.
What should I call you? Neil is fine. Neil, you can call me Dave, okay? So today you were at the Wells Fargo. What happened?
She has issues with her rent. She has to go to court on Monday. And I went to Wells Fargo Bank to Wells Fargo on Monday to give her to help pay her rent. Before I left home, she texted me and told me something about yesterday. I went over to Dunkin' Donuts and how somebody sent her a picture of me from another woman at Dunkin' Donuts, and I was giving this woman. So I sent her back a text message and I said, I'm tired of you accusing me all the time. So like 2.5 years we've been together, it's always an accusation of me with another woman. I said, I'm tired of that. I told her, I'm going to give you the money. I said, but after that, please don't communicate with me anymore. I said, don't respond to the text. Don't call me because I don't want to hear any excuses. I'm basically just tired. So I got ready. When I was going over to the Wells Fargo Bank, she called me. I didn't answer my phone. I went to the ATM. I withdrew the money, and I was sending her a text because I told her to meet me at 11:30, and it was like 11:38. So I was texting her to tell her I'm at the bank, and then I saw her posting through the bank. So she got out of her car. I was standing by my car. She came up, and I gave her the money. And I just wanted to be over, believe me. I advised her to go to therapy, and I went with her. And I go to college and just had to cancel all my classes yesterday because I can't study, I can't focus. There's just a whole bunch of stuff that was going on. When she was accusing me yesterday, I did go to Dunkin' Donuts, but I wasn't with anyone. I went down to the college to withdraw from my classes, and I was told there was one counselor there. And I went to Dunkin' Donuts further down on North Point. I got a cup of coffee and 2 donuts, and then I went back to the college.
What time was that when you were at Dunkin' Donuts?
That was, it was after 10. It could have been around maybe 10:20 or so.
10:20 a.m.
Yeah.
Okay. And you go to the perimeter over here?
No, the one after you pass North Point going down Old Newton. The one on the left hand. Yeah, past. It would be on the left hand side.
What's the name of it?
It's a Dunkin' Donuts.
No, okay, that Dunkin'.
Oh, they're college.
Yeah.
The next section for college.
We're gonna check.
I just reached for my palm. I didn't need to shoot her or anything like that. I had no reason to shoot her or anything like that. And I just remember the gun going on.
Okay.
And that was it. I just.
Within the first few minutes of questioning, Neil painted himself as the victim. He described Tanisha as volatile, jealous, and impossible to reason with. He said he went to that parking lot simply to hand over money and walk away. But detectives were already asking themselves a critical question. If this was just a routine handoff between two people ending a relationship, why did Othniel Innes show up armed? And why, after the gun went off, did he not once kneel down beside the woman he claimed to love?
Okay. So you moved here in 2010. You said you made some reports about Tanisha before?
Yeah. one was last month, actually. We had gotten into an argument while I was taking her to the bank to get some money, and I had my cell phone and the cigarette lighter, and she called me her name, so I just pulled over and actually got out of my car. And when she got out, I had the headpiece on. It was connected to the phone and kept telling me out of range, out of range. I came here, I filed a report. The officer and I went back looking for the phone. We never found it. He went to her apartment and spoke to her. She said she didn't have it. So I reported the phone as stolen to Verizon. And I was able to get back another phone. And then prior to that, I think it was in 2017, I think, we had a disagreement, and she was actually following me. And while she was following me, I called in to dispatch, and I came here and filed a report on her.
So she's kind of like stalking you a little bit?
Yeah, I don't know why she does stuff like that. She listens to other people, man.
She's been like harassing you. Has she made like overt threats?
It is because the email I sent to her, I told her, if she contacts me anymore, I'm going to consider it harassment, and I'm going to come to the police and file a report. I just, it wasn't working out. I love her to death. I'm not going to like you. I love her. But it's just this thing that, I don't know.
So you said you had reported the incident or you recorded partially on your phone, like when she was kind of harassing you?
Right, when she was standing in front of my...
And you're asking her to get out of the way?
Yeah.
Okay. And was the phone still recording when the gun went off?
I'm not sure.
Not sure? But she had grabbed it from you before that?
She did take it out of my hand. When she fell, it was actually on the ground, so I took it up to call 911.
Did you call 911?
Yeah, I forgot I had the headpiece on, and then I think it came in and said something about I breached a recording or something like that.
You dialed 911?
Yeah.
Okay.
2 police reports, both filed by Neil. Neither described Tanisha as violent. He never once used words like dangerous or threatening when speaking to officers. He described her as a stalker, yes, someone with trust issues, someone emotionally exhausting, but never someone he feared physically. So detectives kept circling back to the same unavoidable detail. If he didn't fear her, why did he bring a loaded firearm to a meeting he arranged himself? The answer to that question would define everything that came next.
So she's at the driver's door, you're trying to drive away.
Well, I was standing up in front of her, and I thought I could be little so I can get into my car.
Okay.
And she was saying stuff about, she knows what the woman looks like. And I didn't respond to that because I really don't know what she's talking about. Then she snatches the phone out of my hand, and she moves away, and I asked her back to my phone. And she said something, I don't remember what she said. And I just remember just going to my gun, and the gun went off. And I started going down, but I thought it was like she was faking or something, because I just took out my gun really to, scare her, and I had no idea, give me my phone back, but I had no intention of use up my gun or anything like that.
Okay.
Not my thing.
Because you had no intention to use your gun. At that point, you didn't feel threatened or anything from her.
Well, I did feel kind of threatened because I don't know. She had this aggression in her voice, and that's one of the reasons why, I said to her, could you please move away? Because this morning she called me at home and she was going off, and I was like, well, hold up, and I ended up hanging up the phone because I had just gotten up, and I really got up, I said my praise, I asked the Lord to bless my day, and I didn't want to go through anything. I didn't want to start off my day with no arguments and stuff. So I just hung the phone up, and, that was it. Yeah, like that, but when she was there, yes, I just kind of threatened because she was, you know what I'm saying, she was kind of like aggressive, tone in her voice and stuff like that. And I just understood to, you know what I'm saying.
I told her everything, Okay. And so, and she has in fact like been, not maybe aggressive towards you, but to a point of an annoyance where you have been making reports about this annoying behavior that she's accusing you of, in one case, this particular case, some sort of cheating, and she's accused you of that in the past?
I didn't make the report about the cheating. What I made the report about was, man, my phone went missing, right? And also when she was calling me, I think it was in 2017, because I had called and I had the operator on the line while she was calling me and stuff like that. And she told me after that someone told her to do it, you know.
Someone told her to follow you?
Yeah. I don't know.
Investigators pulled the surveillance footage from the Dunkin' Donuts Neil mentioned, and what they found was unexpected. He was telling the truth. He had gone alone. There was no other woman, no meeting, no affair, at least not on that particular morning. So Tanisha had accused him based on a photograph, a tip from someone, a feeling. But here is what matters. Whether or not she was right about the cheating, she did not deserve to die for confronting him about it. An accusation is not a justification for pulling a trigger.
I get it. So understanding, you know, we read you your rights and you're agreeing to talk. You still feel good about talking to me?
I'll speak up.
Yeah, and again, the rights that I read you can decide to stop talking to me at any time, like we discussed. But I'd like to go over the incident again, how it occurred. Can you just tell me again, and I'm asking some questions about it?
Okay. I went to the bank and I looked through, you know, some cash to give her to help her pay her rent. And then when I walked back to my car, she wasn't there because I had previously sent her a text message and told her to meet me there at 11:30. And while I was sending her the text message, I saw her car pulling into the pulled off the street into the bank. So she came up to my car, I gave her the money, and then, you know, she was talking about this incident yesterday with me and this woman and how she knows what the woman looks like and stuff. She like stood up on the driver's side door. So I actually, you know, to remove because my intention was to just go there, give her the money.
Okay. Did you guys plan on getting married? Is that?
We did not have any plans. It did come up, but like I told her, I needed to get to know her better. I didn't want to move forward with her having trust issues with me because I felt that would have came over into the relationship. So, like I told her, I just wanted to get to know her better and stuff like that.
So you saw her bleeding, she fell on the ground. Did you try to get to the home and call
911.
Did you try to do any sort of medical?
Well, I went to her and, you know, so I shook her and she wasn't moving. So I dialed 911.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, she is deceased.
Oh, no.
Okay. I mean, I think it was kind of obvious at the scene, though, was it not? That
I honestly, I really couldn't tell because, like I said, you know, it just, the whole thing, I was just in shock.
But you knew that she was shot in the face, right?
Yeah, because I thought it was coming from her mouth.
Did you think she shot her in the mouth, or where did you shoot her at?
No, I mean, I think there was something in her forehead. I assume that's where, you know, she got shot.
Well, how exactly would you shoot her in the forehead by accident?
Say that again.
How would you shoot her in the forehead by accident?
Well, she's almost as tall as me when I pulled my gun out. You know, so I just said I heard the gun went off. She's almost as tall as I am.
Yeah, but I mean, you had it pointed directly at her face then, right?
I just spoke, to be honest with you, I just pulled it out. It was not my intention to shoot her.
And I get that. So, I mean, you pointed at her face in order to scare her?
I pulled it out, you know, like this, but it wasn't, I didn't like consciously like choose any part of her body to point the gun at or anything like that. It was just action.
So when you pull a gun out, that's the appropriate action is to point the gun towards the person. I mean, you couldn't just hold it down like at your side and say, give me my phone back.
Yes, I would say I could have done that, but at the same time, also there, I wasn't like thinking, well, okay, I'm gonna pull out the gun and shoot her or anything like that. That was the last thing that, that I would have do something that was not supposed to happen.
He pointed a gun at her face. He admitted it himself, and yet he called it an accident. Detectives weren't buying it because here is what stood out most. Nearly 2 hours into that room, Neil had not shed a single tear. He had not once asked if there was anything they could do. He had not expressed grief. What he had done, however, was calculate. He asked about charges. He asked about attorneys. He thought about procedure. Investigators began to wonder if his calm wasn't shock, but something far more deliberate.
I understand that. It sounds to me, though, like potentially you had gotten fed up with her antics against you. So here you are at Wells Fargo giving her money, and she's still taking it out on you, and that she's giving you all this anger and accusations, and it made you mad.
I was mad, but I wouldn't say that I was mad to that point where I would shoot her. And in terms of the setup for it, all I wanted to do was just get in my car and move away. That's all I wanted to do. I had no intention whatsoever of shooting her. I didn't think of a body part to point my gun or anything like that. When she snatched the gun out of my hands, I was shocked. I was surprised because I didn't expect that she would have done that.
You said gun, but phone.
I'm sorry, when she pulled the phone out of my hands, I'm sorry. I was shocked. I wasn't expecting her to do anything like that because I don't know what was the reason. I mean, I don't have nothing on my phone that, you know what I'm saying?
Was it just simply the act of filming her, maybe, that you made her mad, and she's like, does she know you were filming her?
Yeah.
And so maybe that made her mad, and she's just like,
I don't know.
I mean, you weren't saying anything to her. I mean, and we'll see the video, but maybe you just don't remember what you were saying to her at the time.
What is the normal procedure like? What happens after this?
Well, after this, you are under arrest, obviously.
Okay.
We had this incident in the parking lot, and that's what I'm trying to figure out, what exactly happened, Tanisha had been shot, right? She had to go to the hospital, and it doesn't look good for her at this moment, okay? And so, obviously, we're working through that, so, you're under arrest, and depending on what occurs with Tanisha, those are going to be the charges now. So I'm just trying to get your side of it. Do you understand? What other questions would you have?
Well, when would I be able to speak to seeing that I am under arrest? Mm-hmm. If it doesn't look wrong for her, then what would I be charged with?
Murder.
Okay, so when would I probably be able to speak to an attorney or someone?
Yeah, so that, what you need to, if you want to talk to an attorney, you just tell me that right now and we'll stop talking, okay? And then you can, contact your loved ones or contact someone at the jail.
The word murder didn't break him. He didn't flinch. He didn't ask to see her. He didn't ask whether she suffered. He asked about lawyers, and that one moment told investigators more than 2 hours of conversation had. Meanwhile, outside that interrogation room, Tanisha's children were learning that their mother was never coming home. A woman who worked in healthcare, raised 4 children alone, and wrote books about love, was gone. And the man responsible was sitting in a police station, asking about legal procedure.
So she's at the driver's door, you're trying to drive away.
Well, I was standing up in front of her, and I thought I took these little so I can get into my car.
Okay.
And she was saying stuff about you know, she knows what the woman looks like. And I didn't respond to that because I really don't know what she's talking about, you know. Then she snatches the phone out of my hand and she moves away and I asked her back to my phone and she said something, I don't remember what she said. And I just remember just going to my gun and you know, the gun went off and I started going down, but I thought it was like she was faking or something because I just put down my gun really to, like, you know, scare her, and I had no idea, you know, phone back, but I had no intention of using my gun or anything like that.
Okay.
That's not my thing.
Because you had no intention to use your gun. At that point, you didn't feel threatened or anything from her.
Well, I did feel kind of threatened because I don't know. She had this aggression in her voice, you know, and that's one of the reasons why, you know, I said to her, could you please move away? Because this morning she called me at home and she was going off, and I was like, well, hold up, you know, and I ended up hanging up the phone because I had just gotten up and I really got up, I said my praise, you know what I'm saying? I asked the Lord to bless my day, and I didn't want to go through anything. I didn't want to start off my day with no arguments and stuff. So I just hung the phone up and, you know, that was it. Yeah, like I said, when she was there, yes, I just kind of threatened because she was, you know what I'm saying, she was kind of like aggressive, tone in her voice and stuff like that. And I just like to, you know what I'm saying.
I told her everything, yeah. Okay. And so, and she has in fact like been not maybe aggressive towards you, but to a point of an annoyance where you have been making reports about this annoying behavior that she's accusing you of, in one case, this particular case, some sort of cheating. And she's accused you of that in the past?
I didn't make a report about the cheating. What I made a report about was, man, my phone went missing, right? And also when she was calling me, when it was in 2017, because I had called and I had the operator on the line while she was calling me and stuff like that. And she told me after that someone told her to do it, you know.
Someone told her to follow you?
Yeah.
So she's been like harassing you. Has she made like overt threat?
It is because the email I sent to her, I told her, you know, if she contacts me anymore, I'm going to consider it harassment, and I'm going to come to the police and file a report. You know, it wasn't working out. I was just working with her, with the counselor, you know, to get things back on track because I felt it was going to be difficult with her accusing me. You know, and still continuing the relationship the way we were having it before. Yeah. So what was she going to counseling for? Oh, basically it was like the accusation of, you know what I'm saying, cheating on her, you know what I'm saying, having someone, that kind of stuff.
Kind of like trust issues?
Yeah. Concerning the people. I'm not looking for, you know, no drama or anything like that. I've come this far, like I said, I've never been in anything like this before. The only time I've ever shot my gun was at the range, really. And, you know, I just didn't, I didn't want no shoot or anything like that. I really didn't.
And so you're just trying to end things amicably, and you're going to still pay her this money?
Well, not pay her, give her.
Give her?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. And you arranged to meet her at Wells Fargo?
Yeah.
Because she said it was going to close at, so you had a...
Well, I don't know which bank she was going to. I don't know if it was Wells Fargo, she was a different bank, but she said the bank goes to the 12. And the Wells Fargo branch is like right between both of us. So I just thought that was a good place for me. I went over through the money, just to her, you know, anything like that.
But you've been with her for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
So you learn a little bit more about her, but she doesn't seem to have any really big mental issues from what you've seen.
She doesn't seem to have any big ones. Both me and the therapist, and I'm explaining that because I thought maybe there was something from her past, and the therapist also brought that up the last time we were there, that there might be something from her past that is causing her to feel that I'm cheating or something like that.
Do you go to these counseling sessions with her?
Yeah, I agreed to go with her.
And how many you guys
I
have been
wanted
to?
her to two of them, yeah.
But she's been to more?
No, there were only two so far.
And they're recently?
Yeah, the last one was last week Friday, and I believe the weekend pregnant. That's when we started.
Has she been violent towards you?
And like I said, it's just in an aggressive way in which she talks, or she will like come in between me, and you know what I'm saying. I just try to get me angry and upset.
But never physical violence.
He admitted it plainly. She had never been physically violent toward him, not once. And yet, he arrived at that parking lot, carrying a loaded firearm. Detectives had heard enough. Every answer he gave raised more questions. He said he wanted to scare her. He said the gun went off by accident, but he also admitted he pointed it directly at her face. You do not accidentally point a weapon at someone's forehead. You make a choice, and on that morning, Othniel Innes made his.
When you said you wanted to scare her, but a gun is a lethal weapon, right?
Yeah.
So why would you put it and then point at it? Because from what you have said, you reached back and you drew your weapon and just pointed straight forward. What does that say?
To me, it was just
If somebody, if I was to draw my gun at you, point straight at your forehead, what do you think my intent is?
Well, I would think, well, it depends on the situation also. If you're asking me to get down on the ground, then I would assume that you want me to get down on the ground.
In the same instance that you and your deceased ex-girlfriend would make, what if she was the one to do the exact same thing? What do you think her intent would be? Would she just be doing that scared, or would she be doing that to harm you?
I mean, it could be either or. To be honest with you, it could be either or. And I mean, given the fact that she said to me, I want my phone back, it could be either or.
And you said you loved this woman, correct?
Yeah.
And you loved her enough to pull a weapon on her to scare her.
Just to scare her, not to shoot her or kill her.
Well, let me add,
What was your trigger thing?
Pardon?
Where was your thing?
I remember having my finger like this.
What
That's what I'm saying, dog. I don't remember being in the trigger part. That's the part when I say, I thought maybe, she was like play acting, because my intention was not to shoot her, and my intention was not to pull the trigger or anything like that. That was not my intention.
And your intention was?
Just to scare her, just to give me my phone back. That's all.
Okay.
Nothing else more than that.
Okay.
That's the demo.
Okay. All right, well, one other question before we take some pictures here now. I am going to be talking to her family here. Is there any message you want me to pass on to them?
I'm sorry, this was an accident. It's not supposed
Okay.
This was not supposed to happen.
I understand.
He had nothing to say to her family. The man who claimed to love her, who said she was like family to him, who helped her children, who went to therapy with her, had nothing to pass on. Not an apology, not a word. And then came the final piece of evidence. From his own recording, in those last seconds before the gunshot, Tanisha can be heard saying, "Shoot me." Some will hear that as taunting. Detectives heard something else. They heard a woman who never believed he would actually do it.
You saw us at the school, hugging and kissing on her, right?
Move away from my car,
Let me
Tanisha.
tell you something. Let me tell you. Hey, motherfucker. Shoot!
Othniel Innes pleaded guilty to the murder of Tanisha Evans and illegal possession of a firearm. In February 2025, he was sentenced to 25 years in prison.